building a fizzer.
Hey, cool kickers, this is your big sister Shishi, and welcome to Kick the Cool. Me and the bros are taking the week off, but we didn't want you to go without your weekly dose of helpful reviews. That means Clip Show! Tone put together an episode filled with our favorite moments from the podcast, plus a little new content. We'll be back next week, but for now, enjoy a clip from episode 0, our previously unaired practice episode.
Okay. All right. So, wink. Now, have you ever, either of you, winked at someone?
Yes.
Yes, I did today.
Really?
I winked today.
Now, do you consider yourself a winker?
I do not consider myself a winker, although I did do it today.
Now, there are people in the world who are winkers, right?
There are people
Yes.
that just wink.
I do know.
And-
I do know people who are winkers, and I wish they would stop all the time.
Yes.
The winking.
Thank
Yeah.
you. See,
Okay,
that's
so
the thing. If you wink at me one time in your life, I'm gonna go, wow, that was pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you are a winker, I'm mad.
Like when you say wink, I'm giving that a very low score, like half a star, because that sounds really skeevy. But when you say winking, that could be like, I winked at my kid, or I'm sharing
Yeah.
a secret, or, don't tell them that I, farted, or whatever. So, it's just between you and me.
Yeah, the classic wink moves. Yeah.
That is like, I would give maybe a 3 to 4.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, the winking that I did,
Winking.
I think I will give a, yeah, I'll review it that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, let me ask a very important question here, Wopsle. Did you use both eyes when you did this?
Did I use both eyes?
Did you use both eyes when you winked? Because I think, in my opinion, there is a 2-eye wink.
Okay.
But at the same time, or one at a
Every
time?
single time I've ever tried to wink at someone, I just basically closed my eyes and opened them at the same time.
That just means you can't wink. That doesn't mean that
That's
what
right.
you did was a wink.
Nah, I like to call it the 2-eye wink.
No, mine was a single eye wink. If
Okay.
we're rating the 2-eye wink, then that's going to be off the charts. We're going to have to make up a new scale if we're talking about the 2-eyed wink.
Okay, now, so Sherry, what did you rate wink? And I'm not going to allow you to go with winking.
Wink?
The topic is wink.
1 star
1 star.
is what I rated it before, and I have to say that your description of wink did not increase the score at all.
Okay.
1 star.
Now, Wopsle, what was your? Oh yeah, I remember. Yours was yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now Sherry, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Wopsle and I have a code, and it's called On the Wink Wink.
Okay.
Now, On the Wink Wink means you pull up to Sonic and you know the car hop, and you go, hey, how about some fries on the Wink Wink?
Okay.
Right? You get some free food.
When you explain it so deliberately, it sounds much dumber.
It sounds
does.
terrible.
But okay. So there's that. Now, the other thing is this is messed up because we have now said winker and wink wink. And my mom decided when I was a kid to name my penis a winker.
A winker. I was going to say, I think you brought this thing up to make sure and get that
That
adult-
is exactly
mature
what I was
content
thinking.
tag.
Yeah.
Now we are
So
explicit.
now we can
If
cuss
we
as much
are-
as we want.
Because if
That's
we're
right.
talking about
Explicit now.
winkers and wink winks,
Oh my goodness.
yeah. In
I
our
don't think
family, that's
anyone
what
else
that
calls
means.
him that.
I don't think
No,
so. No,
please don't.
I hope not.
And it makes me wonder why. was it called that? Is it because it has a...
Oh no, she
Oh,
no. Don't.
Oh man.
My dirty mind says it's because it has one eye.
Uh-huh.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
like, I don't know, the one eye, I don't know what they call it.
What do you guys, after discussion, what do you rate Wink now?
Can it go down from 1 star? I think I need to, I give it a thumbs down. How about that? It went from 1 star to thumbs down.
I still think, again, I winked today in a playful, like, I lied to somebody about what was a surprise and winked at them to let them know that there's actually a bigger surprise coming. So I love that wink. But just based on our discussion, I got to say
Yes.
right now, I hate the wink.
Yes.
I hate it so bad.
The only good time to use a wink is when there's a secret involved.
Yeah.
That's the only time. And
That's
it's
what
got
this
to be a
was.
good secret. It can't be a bad secret.
But yeah, right. I hate it. I went from a to a ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Last thing I'll say about Wink, is it Wopsle? Is it still okay for us to say we got something on the Wink?
I don't know.
That has never been okay.
It was never okay. That's the problem. This is still
That's what
okay,
me and
no.
Wopsle always said.
It doesn't make it okay.
No, that's true.
Yeah, it wasn't, and it's still not okay. And yet, also, I will still continue to do it. So
You might think they're fun, or maybe they're boring. There's fish that can fly and bees that are swarming. We'll tell them to you, even if they are corny. It's the crazy animal stories. That's right. It's the crazy animal stories. Yeah.
oh man,
Not okay. Nice.
Crazy animal stories, guys. We are going to and we're going to end up voting on one of these, and so we're kind of going to do it. There can be only one winner, but we're going to choose the best one. But there's a lot of these. There's a lot of crazy animal stories, and what I'd really like to hear is personal accounts, firsthand accounts of crazy stuff that animals have done. Not like stuff you saw on Nat Geo or whatever. Wopsle, what do you think about crazy animal stories?
You know, animals do be crazy. That's just fact. Okay, there's no debating that. I feel like I got a lot of crazy stories. The one, I mean, I guess I don't know if there's going to be a recurring segment, but I'll just get my best and craziest animal story out of the way right off the bat. It's a camping story. And whenever I go camping, I don't bring any good provisions. It's only junk food, right? I've got Star Crunches and Nutty Buddies and every bag of chips you can think of. And that's all I got. And so me and my wife and some friends were camping, and I had my bag of Cool Ranch Doritos sitting there beside the ice chest that I was sitting on near the fire. And who should creep out of the bushes and up into our little circle of friends except for a rascally raccoon?
Nice.
A rascally raccoon comes up and he steals my chips, dude, and runs off into the bushes. Now, that was annoying. It was like a half a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos. And I'm out here. I didn't bring very much food. And a little bit I got, this raccoon just took. So I was so bummed, and I was like, what are we going to do? It didn't feel like he was too far off in the woods, so I kind of was creeping around and just kind of being patient and waiting. And wouldn't you know, that dude came back out to like taunt me about having my bag of chips. And we could see him right there. He was right at the edge of the woods. And like, I'm pretty scared of most animals. I kind of famously fell off a horse when I was little, and that kind of made me afraid of all animals. But I love Doritos more than I hate animals. And so I lunged for this dude and stole my chips back from this raccoon.
No way.
And I took it. He had his head in there and his muddy paws all in there like this. These chips had become raccoon chips. They were once human chips. They had become raccoon chips. And then I set my butt back down on my ice chest and finished the rest of those raccoon chips like the king that I felt like I was.
Oh my God.
So my crazy animal story when a raccoon stole my chips and I stole them back.
Follow-up question. Did you get rabies?
Yes. I mean, the jury is still out. We are monitoring the situation closely.
Shishi, what do you think about what's a crazy animal story you can tell?
I would drive from one town to the next town because my brother Tony went to school in the next town and I went to school in our hometown. So driving down the back roads, it is like a 7-mile drive. We come upon this donkey who is on the side of the road, and I'm coming upon the donkey, and I'm just going to go on by because he's over there. He's not looking at me or anything, and he whips his head up, and he starts running down the street in front of us.
In front of the car?
And he is...
Yeah, in front of the car.
He is kicking up so much dust in front of the car. So I'm going about 25 to 30 miles an hour behind this donkey. He is beating down the track. He is booking it. And I'm like, and he's just like, his head is whipping back and he's like looking at me all wall-eyed, like I'm chasing him to eat him. So I slow down because I'm like, I'm scaring the donkey, right? I think he'll veer off and go down the side of the road. But he didn't. He kept going. I swear we probably drove like a mile and a half.
And he kept looking
maybe
back.
A mile and a half like that. And so we
like,
come
what's
up.
this lady's deal?
He kept looking back at us. All he had to do was stay on the side of the road and watch us drive by. It would have been fine. So then we come up to a crossroads. I need to turn left. And I say out loud, if this donkey turns left, I don't remember what threat, but I threatened the donkey with bodily harm. And he turned left. He's running another mile down the road before he finally got tired and went off, and we just went by, like, and he's watching us go by, like, oh, you're going by. But he was flat out. He was terrified the entire way. He ran at least 2 miles in front of my car.
I'm ruining the podcast because I can't stop laughing.
The funny part was when he just kept looking back at us and the whites of his eyes were showing. He was so scared.
That poor donkey.
Gosh.
Holy cow.
Oh, that was the funniest.
Donkeys are so stupid.
I was this crazy lady chasing me.
The car wants to eat
This
me.
lady is nuts.
And that donkey was thinking, if that lady turns left, I swear to God. Oh my God.
Oh, my face hurts.
Tony, I'm so glad you were in the car with me,
Me
that day.
too. That was, oh my goodness. That was really funny. Wow. Okay. Well, I have to say, my story is a little similar to Wopsel's. I wish I could say it was similar to Shishi's, but there's nothing similar to that. So, but okay, so it's me, and I believe it was, anyways, a bunch of the guys that we used to hang out with. One day, the guys are just like, hey, let's go camping. And I didn't know what that meant to them. They were a little younger than me. And so I hadn't gone camping with this particular group of guys, but we were all real tight. And so we go camping, and here's how we embark. We get in the car and go.
Those are the best camping trips.
I kind of thought, well, isn't there something that should be some sort of preparation? Nope, no prep.
Sandwiches involved.
Right. Yeah. Am I gonna see a sandwich at any point? So we get there, we all exit the truck, and we go down to some big old rocks right at the edge of the river. We hang out there, and somebody, I think, had a half a bottle of some sort of alcohol that we passed around and sat there in the dark. And then when it was time to go to sleep, I saw people just, all right, guys, good night. I lay wherever they were, just lean over, lay down on the rock. And I took my shoes and used them as a pillow.
So the crazy animals in this story are humans. Like this is
right.
These are the
were
people
basically
doing something crazy.
acting like animals. Yes.
Right.
So, but one thing, we brought one thing. We didn't bring anything to drink other than a half bottle of whiskey. We didn't bring anything to eat. We only brought one thing, and that was an old BB gun pistol. We talked about, hey, well, at least we got protection, right? So I wake up, it's morning, and every millimeter of my body is in pain.
Right.
And I look around and everybody's still asleep. And I go, well, I got to go pee. So I grab the BB gun because I'm going over into the woods where who knows what could be there. I'm just grabbing it just kind of to be silly, kind of as a lark, So I walk over into the woods over by the river, down river a little ways. And I'm about to undo my pants to start urinating, and all of a sudden I hear a hiss, and I look down, and there is a badger right at my feet, looking up at me, and I don't know. It's kind of like, how would you know if an alien that you'd never seen an alien face before, how would you know they were mad, but you do somehow?
Right.
That's how I felt about this badger. I've never seen a mad badger before, but this one was mad.
Right.
And I looked at the badger, and I swear to you, I said, bad timing, bro, or something to that. I said, bad timing. And I took the BB pistol, put it out right at his face. It was, the end of the pistol was probably a foot away from his head, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was going to kill him. I was going to take him out because I thought he was going to come after me. So I pulled the trigger. Nothing happened except something did happen. The BB rolled out of the barrel and landed on the badger's face. And I knew I was in trouble. I ran, and he chased me for a minute, and then he gave up and just stood there watching me. And I stopped after a ways to look back, and he was still standing there, like
laughing,
ready to come at me. Yeah. Yeah. But it seemed like it made him more mad that the BB hit him in the face. He was like, oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah, it would me too. Okay, so my
Wow.
follow-up question is, were you finished with your business before that stuff went down?
No, I was not. I didn't even start yet.
Oh, okay, good. Whew.
Yeah, it was one of those in the middle.
Yeah, you would have been running while peeing had you started.
I was going to say, why didn't you
Right.
just, use what you had
Pee on him?
available? And pee
Just
on him?
pee on the badger. Are you?
Come on.
Come on.
I mean, what good is it to be able to pee standing up if you can't pee on a badger?
I am never going to forget the time that my sister suggested I pee on a badger. It's not every day that happens.
Is that a badger or is that jellyfish? I forget. I'm supposed to pee on one of them.
Yeah. I think any animal that you're not sure, just better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Come and knock on our door.
Come and knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are hers and hers and his. Three's company too.
Three's company too.
I was
Come
trying
and
to
dance
do
on our floor.
Come and dance on our floor.
Take a step that is new.
Take a step that is new.
They will stumble the blaze that we but blaze. Three's company too.
You come and nap on the floor.
Life is around and then laughter is calling for you. Dabba dabba daboo.
Labba dabba daboo.
Yabba dabba
Three's
dabba.
company too. You got a little Fred Flintstone in there. Where's the beef? Guys, these glasses, they're just on my face all the time. Have you ever been at a point where you had to wear glasses a lot and you take them off? Oh my God, I just took mine off. And it feels like you're taking off your socks at the end of a long work day and rubbing your feet on the carpet.
Or your bra. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Or rubbing
What?
something else on the carpet.
Yeah, it feels like your face is it feels like your face is like emerging from like a coal mine
Yeah.
for the first time in years. You take it off and it's like fresh air on my eye socket. I never knew that's what that felt like. Totally.
Yes. Well, so you just described it almost perfectly. The person who did describe it perfectly was Shishi when I just said you rubbed your feet on the carpet, and she said you rubbed something else on the carpet.
You missed the first part of that. I have to say, you missed the first part. You said I take my socks off, and I said, or when I take my bra off. And then you said when you rub your feet on the carpet. So I said, instead of boobs, I said something else.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
What is going on?
My sister.
It was supposed to be a stupid little throwaway nothing. And now it's a deal. I don't rub my boobs on the carpet. But I would if I thought about it, probably.
Did that really just get said on our podcast?
Hey, you told me to lean into the woman aspect. So, representing.
Man. Did, if you had in the pool that she would not say, I rub my boobs on the carpet in our podcast, you lost. Because
no, I didn't say I rub my boobs on the carpet. I said I wouldn't.
No, you just said it 4
Because I
times now.
don't rub my boobs.
I think those are the bookend of sensations, is rubbing your freshly desocked feet on the carpet and rubbing something else on the carpet. I think those are the two ends of the spectrum.
Yes.
For how things should feel.
Oh, you guys don't know how good it feels to take your bra off, apparently.
No,
Because
we don't.
So good that you crawl around on the carpet for a while.
I love it when you get home from work a little bit early and you walk in and your wife is laying on the carpet.
Just kind of scooting with her arms down by her side, just scooting.
Inchworming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Inchworming across the living room.
Yep.
Now, Sherry actually did not say, oh, no, you did say rub something else, not press. Don't just lay there and press them against the carpet.
Mm-hmm. Right. That doesn't do anything. Yeah.
Speaking of glasses, I'm laughing so hard that my glasses just fogged up.
Me too.
Another downside of glasses is they're fogging up all the time.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about glasses. I totally forgot my topic is happening right now.
He's talking about ghosts here, ghosts there. I ain't afraid. Bustin' makes me feel good. And then he says, an invisible man sleeping in your bed. Well, that's not even a ghost. That's the invisible man. And all he's doing is trying to catch a nap.
It's an invisible man.
Right. Just one of the many. And he's just trying to sleep. Bust him.
He's taking a nap.
Right here, or are we busting Bigfoot now? Like, no, like, stay in your lane, Ghostbusters.
He's just a man.
Well, episode 13, I don't care. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Invisible mans I am a little afraid of, but not ghosts.
And he was under the impression that we share our review topics a week beforehand and come up with things to say.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah. No.
Oh, man.
No.
Not only does each other not know, but we ourselves usually don't know what we're
We
going to
often
do
do not know.
before it comes out of our mouths.
I have to tell you one more story. When I was a kid, our cousin Sammy told me that if I put my finger in my belly button, I could die.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what else I believed until I was 25 years old?
What's your point? What's the point?
So, Tony, I hate to break it to you, but you've been living a lie this whole time. You can put your finger in your belly button and you'll be fine. Mm-hmm. I've tried it.
I know.
Oh.
I know. Yeah, I do. I know that.
So both of those
course,
things.
I know that. Everybody knows that.
Both of those things you said 25, did you have some kind of great awakening when you were 25?
Right, that's what I want to know
I
too.
think my
Yeah.
brain was
What
finally
this?
fully developed. Isn't that about the right time? That's when I started making all these little connections that I never made before.
I hope that you woke up with this new knowledge and it didn't hit you in mid-work day.
I honestly don't.
Boom! Like blows the back of your head out. You're like, oh my God. Wow. My finger is so close to my belly button right now.
Let's all put our fingers in our belly buttons right now.
You're crazy.
No.
Right now. Right now.
You are literally insane.
I swear you'll be fine. I swear.
On Friday the 13th? Are you serious?
Listen, we're getting spooky, but we're not getting crazy.
Exactly.
You can't tell me you've never washed your belly button, because
I do. I have
put your finger in there to do that.
I spray water in there.
Oh, okay.
After every shower, I go in the backyard and fire up the water hose.
Mm-hmm. I stick my stomach out and I drop a drop of soap in there, a liquid soap.
Dish soap you've got in there just for that.
That's right. Dawn in the belly button. I do not have a greasy belly button. I like that.
We go so far off topic.
Have you ever stuck your finger in someone else's belly button and they did not like that?
If I've ever stuck my finger in someone else's belly button, they either didn't care. No, I'm just going to say they didn't care.
Okay.
So they were dead then. The only way that they wouldn't care is if they were no longer a living human.
Hey.
Remember when I
the
stuck my finger in that dead guy's belly button?
I have not been around that many dead guys.
That's a better story tone than remember the time I stuck my finger in another human being's live belly button.
That's true. Right. Shishi, what do you rate drinking water?
What?
I'm bowing.
Next level. Next level.
Man. Yeah, now I have been known to just kind of whenever I get bored early in the mornings at my office, I'll walk around with my guitar and just play music. Usually it's Garth Brooks because like nobody's going to complain about hearing Garth Brooks in the hallway. But what if that's the way that I want to announce my entrance? Because we actually, as of this recording, next Tuesday is when we go back to regular offices. So do you guys have any good song suggestions? What can I like go around traveling troubadour style and sing in my office to announce my return?
Great question. Well, I will say you said Garth Brooks, and I immediately said Chris Gaines.
Okay. Be a way to keep it fresh, but still have a nod back. Yeah.
Very timely.
Is it timely? Why is it timely?
It's so not timely. Well, I did hear a friend of mine said
the exact opposite of timely. Whatever.
A friend of mine said the other day that Garth Brooks lately has been getting a lot of popularity because his Instagram is so completely insane that he just everything that happens, you watch it and you go, oh, he's crazy.
Do we follow him on Kick the Cool? We should follow him.
We're gonna.
We will. Yeah.
Hey, Garth.
And we're gonna follow Chris Gaines.
Does Chris have an Instagram though? Oh, I would die if he had an Instagram.
If he doesn't, we're gonna make one.
He's got a fake one, if nothing else.
Right. True. Everybody's got a fake one.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, no, I like that. I like that idea. I will update you guys as to which Chris Gaines song I picked and how it went, and who all sang along.
I love you, man. I wish you'd come to work at my place and just walk around and play the guitar.
Okay. I will.
Okay.
Do you have a tip jar?
When people want to tip me, I just say, "You owe me one." I just keep yelling that into the doors of the office mates,
whether they
even if they don't want to tip
or
you.
Not.
Right. As they're shutting the door, right before it shuts, I say, "You owe me one," just real quick. So,
don't forget.
Don't forget.
You should carry around a little piece of paper and just put tally marks next to their name on all the ones they owe you.
Yeah.
Somebody comes walking by you, you just pull out your pad, stop playing your guitar, pull out your pad, and just make
What was your name again? Lindsay? Okay, you owe me one.
You owe me one, sorry.
Yeah. So a lot of times people will come in like with a coffee or something from Starbucks for me. And sometimes I'll tell them, I'll say, hey, you know this doesn't count, right? Like, you still owe me one. So I'm really working that deal. Like, you know, I give a lot more, I get a lot more than I give, and I'm working that angle pretty good.
And if need be, you pull out the pad and show them. So
Yeah.
clearly,
Right.
it says right here,
You have
you
to-
owe me two,
I'll
actually.
be like,
Actually, I think
If
you
you-
could you could keep a spreadsheet, you know, and then
yeah.
email it to them so that everyone
And then
can
whenever,
keep track.
Everyone who owes me one.
You make it a shared document, and then you just
yeah,
send
one's
the link.
owed.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
One's owed as of May 1st.
All right, all you cool kickers. Well, this week's 5-star review is about a podcast that we've been listening to called Pool Boys Recommend. It's a bunch of guys from Australia that just get together and kind of challenge each other to do things, and then they talk about it. We think it's really fun. We think if you like this podcast, you'll like theirs as well. And they actually sent us a trailer over for you to get a little taste of their podcast. So here's a quick look at Pool Boys Recommend.
Oh, g'day.
How's it going?
Nice to meet you.
I'm Stu,
I'm Chris. I'm Dave.
and we're the Pool Boys.
We're the hosts of
Pool Boys Recommend.
It's a podcast where we suggest stuff to each other.
We do it, and then we review it.
You remember like show and tell at school?
It's kind of like that, but this week I had a mental breakdown.
You're a music lover, Stu, okay?
I am, yes.
What is this going to be?
And so I want you to listen to B-52's seminal classic Love Shack 100 times.
Oh my god!
You know, so just when you're going to sleep, when you're having a shower. 100 times. You can start playing it now, maybe.
Oh my god!
You're only yourself to blame if next episode I come back on the air and I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going?
Here's another cheeky little clip for you.
Oh, this podcast is great.
That was a dramatization of you enjoying the podcast in the future.
When you check out
Pool Boys Recommend. Find us on Spotify and Wooshka.
Stitcher and
Apple
Google
Podcasts,
and
even our own website.
You know where to get podcasts.
Come on, you're listening to one now.
You know, something I haven't done yet, and it's not real easy for a big feller to do, but I have not gotten up out of my sunroof yet. I've had the car for about a year, and I have not just jumped up there, and I don't know why I haven't. I know I haven't had a reason to,
So,
but that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
is that something that, like,
I still should have
is
done
that
it.
something that you aspire to when you have a sunroof?
You want to experience that, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're ever in a limo and you don't stick your face out of the sunroof, something's wrong with you. What are you doing with your life?
Like that's what, yeah. You're in the limo, you push that button, and then you're like, oh, and then you go up and it's the city lights and you're like looking around, smiling, and everything's good. It's a way smaller scale to just do that when you park at your apartment complex in the middle of the day.
And struggle
not
for about 17 minutes to get your body up contorted
I
in
think
the
you
right
guys have
spot.
lived very different lives from me.
And you're just up there out of breath and sweating and just looking around.
Just kind of halfway out.
And they're looking at you
just-
like, was it worth it?
Everyone's like,
You gotta-
that man's trapped. That man's trapped.
The fire department's there.
That's why we've got to ban these
We need the
evil
job
sunroofs.
Yeah. This would never happen with T-tops that can just roll right out the side. But
T-tops rule. Moonroofs drool.
Moonroofs
man.
rule.
Okay, well, you have to tell us how that goes then when you decide to do it.
I will. I'll come on the podcast and give a full review while I'm wearing my back brace.
Or I'll just include it in your eulogy if you just want to let me, like, just take that.
I'll go ahead and get a police report, and I'll just recite that on the podcast.
and we'll review it for you.
Man, that's so funny what we just did.
Is it?
We're really, that was wow, Tone. What a great topic.
That's a new,
what
a new segment we got.
Yeah, this is our new segment
called Gut Busters.
You know what, though?
Called Gut Busters.
Knee slap. Welcome to Knee Slapper. Y'all ever been almost killed by a tornado? Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Woo!
Me too.
Right now, I have like one of those little trailers that you attach to your bike because I put my 3-year-old in that because he can't ride a bike yet. So we go riding and he rides in a little trailer behind my bike. And I was going over to pick up this trailer from a buddy's house, and he was showing me how it hooks to his bike, and he said, "Yeah, I don't have it hooked up to this bike because I usually have it hooked up to that bike right there." And he pointed to a stationary exercise bike. And I just kind of cocked my head and kind of looked at him and waited for him to smirk, and he wasn't smirking. And so I said, "How does he like that?" And because he got his son too. And he said, "That's pretty good." And I said, "Okay." And I said, "Wait, he likes being hooked up to that stationary bike that doesn't move?" Oh, and then he just lost it. He showed me that hanging up on the wall up high behind the stationary bike was another regular bike that he was talking about. But this picture of him hooking his son up to the stationary bike and just going to town while his kid's just sitting there like, "Seriously, Dad?"
Honestly, I could see my kids enjoying that. Because that's pretending, man. You got to use your imagination.
Yeah, you
like
picture
that.
Wopsle, you pictured the little kid like, looking like, "What, Dad?" And I pictured him like gripping the railing and like his eyes bugging out of his head like, "Whoa."
Having the best time.
That's true because when you're going fast, you're going as fast as you're going. But when you're not going at all and you have to pretend, you can pretend you're going as fast as you want.
That's
Right.
So that's a pretty good point.
Pretend fast is always the fastest.
Put a fan
Yes.
beside you and your hair's going back and you don't know the difference.
Yeah, from that one
Great
shortcut,
example.
I have added 10 years onto my fingers. The rest of me, no, but my fingers are going to last 10 years longer than me now.
You'll be typing from the grave. You'll be still.
You'll be able to claw your way out with those fingers.
Oh, it's going to be great. One day I'm going to be gone. You're going to get a text that says CCC, and you're going to be like, "Whoa."
I swear to God, if you do that to me, I will never speak to your ghost again.
If I do end up haunting you guys.
Okay. Get back on. Finish that sentiment, please.
Okay. If I do end up haunting you guys, it's only going to be in the funnest way possible. I promise.
Only going to be shortcuts. That's it.
That's
We
right.
won't have any idea what the hell you're talking about. But you're going to keep sending us those messages anyway.
One will be CMIH. And you'll be like, "Oh, we have no idea. And finally, you'll take it to scholars. And finally, someone will crack the code. It might be a dude who has a beautiful mind. It could be Russell Crowe. And he is going to crack the code. And he's going to say, "Oh, this means CMIH, clear my internet history." Oh, CIA. I think there might be a P on the end. It might be CMIHP. Clear my internet history, please.
And by the time we figure it out, we will have already published your internet history for the world to see. Oh, oops. We shouldn't have done that. He didn't want us to do that.
Yeah, we're calling the publisher. "Stop the presses." Tony didn't want. Oh, sorry. We're like, "Russell Crowe, do you have any pull to get this thing stopped?" And he's like, "No."
Oh, well, when you, Cece, do you use any keyboard shortcuts that are prominent in your life?
Oh, I love keyboard shortcuts. Yeah. I mean, Control Z, Control C, Control V, Control X, Control Alt Delete, of course. Control Shift N in Google is incognito.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's one of my
You
favorites.
won't have to haunt us now.
You're right.
No, Tone, Control Shift N, boy, right there. It'll solve your problems and solve ours too. And we won't have to bother Russell Crowe.
He'll be happy.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, Russell. I rate cuss words.
Wow.
Wow, that hurt my ears.
Wowzers.
Wapsel,
Okay.
give me a rating
Okay.
for curse words if you dare.
Well, it seems obvious after all this time. If I'm going to rate cuss words, I've got to go with
Oh, dang. Wow. That one almost made me cuss in response.
I have never in my life been so offended.
I can't believe this. We're gonna have to issue an apology, retract this. I don't know, something.
Well, wait till you hear my rating,
Oh,
because my rating is goddamn.
wow.
wow.
So
Whoa,
Right?
cool it. What are you so mad about? Take a breath.
So that is all the time we have.
Yeah, well, just like TJ sent us a review, we would love to hear your review ideas or just how you're feeling. So send us something at reviews@kick.cool. We would love to hear you.
We also want to thank the band Bugs, Buggs, for letting us use the song Reviews as our theme song. Thank you, Bugs.
Thanks, Bugs.
Thank you, Bugs. And I would like to invite everyone to come over to Instagram and follow us on Instagram. We have a new story every week. Wapsel's really on top of that. It's really fun. So come on over. Love you. Bye.
Love you.
Love you, bye.